Hello everyone. I'd like first of all to thank the organizers of this conference for accepting my contribution and giving me this opportunity. Let me introduce myself. I'm Imam Nouah, PhD student from Al Malik State University. As you can see on the screen, the subject of my presentation is faculty development and the improvement of students' performance. The purpose of this presentation is to create an efficient learning and teaching environment based on the perspective and the needs of learners. So the subjects can be looked at under the following heading. I'll begin by an introduction, then I'll move on to discuss faculty development approaches, and then I'll go on to highlight some of faculty development challenges. Next, I'll focus on the best practices for improving students' performance, and finally, I will end with a conclusion. So in the online environment, faculty members' engagement in professional development takes on a new significance. Online programs keep vital importance and evolution opportunities for the educational organization. And academically, universities need faculty members who are adequately engaged for teaching in the online environment. Furthermore, students need a reorganized, more systematic professional development programs for an online environment that enhances, of course, virtual opportunities and support within the domains of personal and professional relationships. So in this part of my presentation, I'd like to talk about major elements of faculty development. What I mean by faculty development is that range of activities that are perceived to help the academicians to improve their professional skills that are vital for carrying out their teaching, research, or administrative activities in the higher educational system. As the context of higher education evolves, university teachers need to improve their teaching skills and practices, including digital skills to support innovative learning processes. So to illustrate this, let's have a closer look at the major elements of faculty development. First of all, learning methods. Actually, there are many different ways a person can learn. The most important here is to choose the appropriate and convenient method based on the level of education and skills of the learners, of course. Secondly, teaching skills, which mean the group of teaching acts or behaviors that are intended to facilitate students' learning directly or indirectly. Then, digital skills, which involve the knowledge and ability to determine information needs from digital technology sources and to appropriately use digital tools and facilities to input, access, organize, and integrate digital resources. Also, leadership skills, which mean the strengths and abilities individuals demonstrate in order to help the oversee proceeds and guide initiatives toward the achievement of goals. Furthermore, personal development, which aims to improve awareness and identity, develop talented and potential, build human capital, and enhance the quality of life. Finally, the last element is course content and design, of course, and this brings me to the end of my introduction. Let's now look at the next slide, which shows faculty development approaches. Well, now the chart on the following slide explains that individuals can ameliorate their knowledge and skills in an informal environment thanks to learning by observing or learning by doing. On the other hand, the improvement of each individual's skills in a formal field could be based on students' feedback and the adoption of online learning environment, of course. For the case of group, in a formal environment, we should integrate workshops and scholars programs. Meanwhile, in an informal environment, we can take over work-based learning and adoption of a community of practices which aims to enhance faculty development. Right then, I'd like to highlight the following points. First of all, faculty members can develop expertise through experience, observation, and reflection. Furthermore, they can also improve their skills as teachers and educators through coaching, students' feedback, online learning, and workplace learning, often by being a member of a community of practices. Faculty development, of course, Programs can differ in format and purpose in both individuals and group settings. Using a variety of educational strategies is recommended. Let's now move on the next stage, which provide the challenges that face faculty development. So it's important to recognize that faculty development does have challenges to increase students' performances. Administrators and faculty developers should consider these challenges. First of all, the first challenge is communication. Learners need to communicate their feedback of their learning experiences in order to improve current learning methods. So while trainings and workshops are favorable for technological and practical development. Similarly, the second challenge is discussion. Students need a sense of reflection and the ability to discuss what they have learned and what the difficulties that they had faced. The next challenge is the integration of technology in the educational process in order to guarantee the transformation of knowledge rather than the location of learners, of course. And finally, faculty must create a different sort of collaborations in order to produce an information exchange environment. In addition to this, I'd like to say that faculty members need to feel like their students' needs and experiences so that learners can move from being passive participants receiving information to active participants who learn, apply, transform, and lead, of course. Now let's move on to the next slide, which discusses the implementation of a community of practices that aim to improve students' performance. So to illustrate this, let's have a closer look at the next chart. So as you can see here, I have summarized a set of different practices that each member of the educational organization can practice in order to improve learners' performance. So for the organization, we recommended rewards and recognition, positive organizational culture via online learning, promote sustainability, work to ensure institutional support. For the community, we suggest workshops, training programs, and for the learners, we propose learning groups, peer evaluation, and mentoring programs. So, well, this brings me to the end of my presentation. As a final point, I'd like to say that the approach developed in this presentation aims to increase students' performance in order to help faculty to develop and create strong pedagogical practices in teaching and learning processes. And thank you.